Good evening once again, friends. Mike and Ian, Wrestling Ramble.
Another week of WWE. Some, not really too many interesting things happened this week, I'd say, other than just build up for Hell in a Cell. The terrifying structure.
20 feet
By
of steel
God.
that has crippled many superstars, most noteworthy of them being, of course, Raw's general manager Mick Foley, and he used his platform as a general manager of Raw to instill that message into the women who are going to be main eventing this Sunday's pay-per-view. Sasha Banks and Charlotte, we've been talking about them for weeks, for the first ever time in Hell in a Cell, Women's Championship on the line. And Mick doing his best to make them realize that the structure is unrelenting, unforgiving, and could potentially shorten their careers.
Mm-hmm.
No joke.
Nope. And, should be a good match, but I don't know if this segment really got me that much more hyped for it. I mean, it kind of did. It made me feel bad for Mick Foley, but I don't know.
What was your opinion of the I took the signed photograph from Eddie Guerrero and gave it to you, and now his legacy is with you? How did you feel about that?
I don't know. I
Very-
thought it was cool.
It's a very divisive comment.
Yeah, it is.
Me personally, I thought Mick meant well, and it is something that really happened, so I don't think he deserves any flack for it. That's how he feels. I know a lot of people are very sensitive about mentioning Eddie, and
Mhm.
his memory is very precious, as well as anybody. But I don't think he meant any harm by that.
No, I don't think so.
And I think if he were here, he personally would probably be really happy with Sasha Banks. That's my opinion.
Definitely. Especially if she hits a frog splash off the top of the cage. Viva la raza.
Do you think Charlotte's father would be actually happy if she hit a moonsault off the top?
No.
No, probably
No.
not. Yeah, not advisable.
He don't want none.
At this point, big man, let's get right into the meat of the content for this week.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about being disappointed. Would you be disappointed if next week we just all of a sudden went back to the old format? Pre-brand split. Went back to the way things were.
I kind of say yes, but kind of no at the same time. And I only say that because it does seem to me right now like kind of... It's almost like the rosters are too small to some degree, but then at the same time, it's also because they haven't worked a lot of the angles that they possibly could be.
That's
working.
true. Definitely.
So I think maybe time will tell.
How much time?
I mean, it's hard to say until, like... Because what are they going to do once they have big major feuds between, let's say the SmackDown women's division? I mean, there's only like 5 or 6 women in it, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now Natalia not going to be a part of that Survivor Series match.
Nope.
How do you feel about that while we're on the subject?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Nikki Bella was looking really good in that match.
Yeah, she looked excellent. Absolutely fantastic. Both shows' women, despite being few in number, are all quite good. So no complaints there. The prospect of retaining this current format, WrestleMania and beyond, it seems daunting to me. Just not only from the fact that we're going to have so many shows to watch,
Mhm.
but do you honestly believe like the WWE superstars are now made to work less often because of this brand split? To me, it seems as if they're made to work even more.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. It's tough to say, though, because, there's still a lot of matchups that I want to see, between superstars on different brands.
That being the case, and I agree 100%, here's hoping that if WWE does decide to retain this format, we can exercise all those various different combinations before the next draft lottery.
Maybe they'll go with the idea that's been thrown around about the Survivor Series match. I just saw
Getting to main event WrestleMania?
No. Just like the Survivor Series, team matches, where, I saw some people throwing the idea around of, the winner getting to pick a person from the other
I
side.
suggested that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I read that somewhere and I stole someone's idea, but I legitimately did suggest that. And I hope that's what happens, because
Yeah.
that would be the most hype of all.
Mhm.
The main event of WrestleMania, honestly, should be just based on how hyped the match is. I mean, I hate to say it, but what if SmackDown wins and then they make Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Usos the main event of WrestleMania?
That'd be cool.
That would be cool, but maybe not appropriate.
No.
Speaking of which, where have the Usos been? It's 2 weeks in a row we haven't seen them.
I don't know. They're just doing Samoan things.
Playing dice in the alley, I guess.
Yeah. Hanging out with Rikishi.
Well, apparently
Dancing.
they're hanging out with Jack Swagger and Dean Ambrose, right?
Oh, yeah. And Roman Reigns.
And Roman Reigns, absolutely. Roman Reigns and Rusev in their build towards their Hell in a Cell match, the feud is ice cold in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just ice cold. I personally hope that this match coming up on Sunday is the last one between them for a while, and they both get to do something really dynamic and cool coming up.
Hopefully. I wonder who's going to go over between the two. Because, I mean, I can't really see either of them as, like, being a clear, this guy's going to go over.
At this point, I'm actually going to bet that Roman Reigns is going to not only retain the United States title, but he's going to keep it for the better part of a year. He's going to have a lengthy United States title run.
Oh.
I think Vince has gotten a lot of flack recently about the prestige of his titles, and he wants to take one of his top guys and use him to reinvigorate a title that has lost some of its luster in recent years.
So Roman Reigns will become a mid-card title guardian.
Hey, the last person to wear the United States title and give it that prestige that I'm talking about was Dean Ambrose.
You're right.
So I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, definitely not.
So who should Rusev feud with after he inevitably loses to Roman in the South?
Man, that's a tough call.
My first reaction is always Neville.
Yeah. Neville would be good. I mean, you could put him in, like, just a blow-off feud against whoever the Universal Champion is.
That's a really good point.
That could be good. Like, they could put on good matches. I don't know if Rusev should necessarily be the Universal Champion, but
Just because I think he needs a little bit more experience.
yeah,
I feel like in a year he'll be ready,
you're right.
in my personal opinion. Personally, in all seriousness, Neville needs to be in some kind of title picture. Whatever the case might be.
The Cruiserweight title picture.
For whatever reason, they're not allowing that to happen.
No.
Hey, speaking of not allowing things to happen, apparently old Uncle Vinny took some signs out of the hands of some devoted fans this past Monday on Raw.
Really?
Yeah. Not Vince himself, he has security. But,
Yeah.
but the long arm of WWE snatching signs which depicted Curtis Axel out of people's hands.
What?
Yeah, apparently, because Minnesota very, very kind to Curtis Axel, and you saw how over he was.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people had signs. Apparently, a lot of them were taken because I guess WWE, for whatever reason, isn't ready for the Axeman to be over.
I guess not. Trying to kill his push?
Yeah, total push killers. No
That's
idea why.
unfortunate.
I agree, but
He was looking good in the ring against Bo Dallas.
he was. All this talk, all these hours of discussion about WWE, and I don't feel like any of us are any closer to understanding why things like that happen.
No. Just because Vince said so.
And that's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah. Can you throw a theory out there as why Vince would choose? Do you think it's pride? Because if I can't create the star, no one can create the star. And he doesn't want to maybe give in to the audience. And he decides when someone gets over and becomes a star.
I could see that being the case.
Does that
but
mean,
I don't want to believe that's the case.
does that mean he chose Ellsworth to become a star?
You're right, maybe.
Maybe there's some political reason why he's keeping Curtis Axel down.
I have no idea why.
Who knows?
Some long time feud with his dad or something.
Maybe it's that time when his dad wrestled with Brock Lesnar on that.
Oh, yeah.
Your dad nearly hurt my beast.
I wonder if Goldberg's just gonna get, like, suplexed around the ring. He's gonna hit a spear and a jackhammer, and Brock's gonna kick out and keep suplexing him around. F5 him onto their boards. The exposed ring boards.
Keep going. Take me to the finish. You just want the whole match then.
Yeah, he could just hit him with a 1, 2, 3 after that.
F5 on the boards?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think so.
Let's just talk about the on the Aubert board spot for 1 second. Because...
Hold on there, player.
Yeah, wait a minute now, player. But in the strictest sense, that wouldn't even necessarily be a disqualification, would it? Because it was the edge of the steps that cut the mat, which exposed the underneath, and you just ripped it, and then pulled the padding off, and the boards were exposed. It wasn't like he used a weapon.
Exactly.
The ring was a little bit broken, and it was it's like the most elaborate form of taking the turnbuckle cover off.
Yep, you're right.
Exposing the bare ring. But seriously, that'd be fantastic.
It's probably gonna happen because, I mean, top WCW guys going over in WWE.
Sting. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Sting and Goldberg, like the two biggest WCW stars, they're gonna go combined 0-3 probably.
Body.
Buried.
Yep.
Goldberg's like, just one match for me, guys. Just one payday is enough. And in the back, Triple H is like, but can I have a match with you?
Yeah.
But what if I were to have a match with you at Mania?
Not even redacted was enough to save Sting.
That's really all there is to be said about that.
Yep.
As always, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the spot below. Hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on whatever. But the fact remains that we're going to see 6 people enter that unforgiving, gigantic steel structure this Sunday.
Will any of them jump off the top of it? We have yet to find out.
And finally, just how many kendo sticks will be torn asunder in want of cut?
Who owns that many kendo sticks? And why are they leaving them under the ring? Gotta figure it out. The mystery. The rogue master.
The shadowy puppet master.